Good morning, good afternoon, 8th grade. I am so excited to have some students in the building. Those of you who are still learning at home and watching this video, I cannot wait to actually see you guys. So we are going to start setting up our ELA class more like it would be when you guys are actually in the building. So we are going to be incorporating a warm-up. We're going to be doing our vocabulary instruction, and then we'll have our actual lesson. Now that we're getting more in the groove, before, we were just trying to get you guys on these programs and get you, used to being online. Now we're going to add a little bit more structure to our courses. So, before we get started with any of the warm-up or vocabulary or anything, I want you guys to set up your OneNote binders, because you guys know in ELA you are not required to have a binder because we have the iPads. So what you're going to do is you're going to go into your course, and then over on the left-hand side you'll see the OneNote class notebook. I'd like you to click on that, and then you're going to sign into OneNote. And once it checks your permissions, it'll say that this notebook is ready. What you'll do is you'll open in OneNote Online, and then it should pop up. And where you see your name, if you click down, it will show you all of your tabs that you would have had in your actual physical binder. So obviously we will start with warm-up. All right. And I'm going to rearrange these to warm-up, roots. There we go. Now, what should happen is a page should pop up. So I'm going to pause this and see why it didn't. Give me 1 minute. All right, we got it settled. So you guys have to log in, and then I can distribute your work to you. But when you get in, you'll see that there's a warm-up page here. We put all of our warm-ups on the date. We write in our date, and then we put our answer. And then under roots, there should have been a page here. What we'll probably do is just try to sign in and get everything finished. But just know that when you guys get started, we're going to be using this binder more often. So what's really important is you coming in, clicking OneNote, and then getting your notebook set up. That's really important so that tomorrow we can have a little bit of an easier day getting in and getting started, and I can start distributing your work to you. So we will start with warm-up and vocabulary tomorrow. That way, we have our stuff together a little bit more. All right, so today, remember, what you're doing is you're finishing up your story for the medicine bag. All right, and remember, you're writing a retelling of the medicine bag from another character's point of view. We're focusing on those descriptive details and the well-structured event sequences, okay? There's a rubric that you're going to use to get your story written, and then remember, after you've completed your draft and you've submitted it to me, you're going to complete the writing reflection Flipgrid, which is right down here. All right, so as the learning target had mentioned, we are focusing on, descriptive details and well-structured event sequences. So I want you to think about the following. You are trying to move out of your house, okay, and we have a couple different options for you. You need help. Would you rather have help from a guy? Would you rather have help from a tall man? Would you rather have help from a tall man with an athletic build and calming voice? Which one do you think would be the most helpful? Obviously, you probably are picking number 3, okay? A tall man with an athletic build and calming voice. Now, if you think about why you picked that one, it's probably because you knew that he was tall, so he could grab things. Since he had an athletic build, he was probably strong. And then since he had a calming voice, he would let you know that everything's okay with the stress of moving. You guys are going to be focusing on those descriptive details. And the third option from before had much more descriptive details than the first 2 options, which you were more drawn to. You knew more about that person. So we expect the same for your medicine bag remix. So these are a couple examples of your peers' work. Either they're introduction or their description of event 1 from Grandpa's point of view. So the first one says, beep, 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 my alarm clock sang. I got up out of bed in pain, lots of it. I knew that my time is coming closer and closer every second, every breath I could take, minus a breath I can take later. I am lonely here. I don't want to die alone. Now is the time to continue the tradition. I need to pass down the medicine bag. I started to pack for my long journey, socks, my old worn boots, my tall black hat. I needed to pack my life savings for my funeral. I stuffed my boots with $100. That's all I had. Then I walked outside of the reservation. I took one good, final look at it, and then I was on my way. But if you look at this example, I knew that my time is coming closer and closer every second. Every breath I could take would be my last breath. I'm lonely here. I don't want to die alone. Now's the time to continue the tradition. So all of this is written from Grandpa's point of view. Okay? They even have the alarm clock singing at the very beginning to hook the reader. These descriptive details, you can almost see Grandpa walking through these steps with himself. So here's another. After 2.5 days, my grandkids went back home. I felt lonesome pain in my heart, and I knew that my time was close. Lonesome pain in my heart. Very descriptive. I wanted to see my grandkids and stay with them before I go. I packed up all my stuff that I needed and placed them in my old suitcase, and I headed towards the door. Oh my, I forgot to get my money I saved. I said as I went back for my money. Well, Boots, this is probably going to be the last journey we are going to take together. It's been nice working with you, partner. I smiled as I looked down at my worn boots from decades of adventures and journeys. I put the money in the boots and put them on my feet with a little bit of pain. I smiled and I looked down at my worn boots from decades of adventures and journeys, instead of just saying I got my boots and put them on. We can see that Grandpa's smiling. He enjoys looking at his worn boots. He's looking at them. He's thinking about the decades of adventures and journeys. I walked out of my home and looked back at it. Thank you for giving me shelter, dear friend. I thanked my home as it will be the last time I'll be there. Well, let's start our final journey. I smiled as I walked towards the bus stop, waiting for the bus. I winced at the pain from the boots, since it was a long time since I walked in them, and added with how heavy my suitcase is. I winced at the pain. I can see Grandpa's face crumbling with the pain. The bus arrived and I got on. It feels different than riding on a horse, I thought. I could feel the wind on my face as I raced across the grass on my horse. Oh, how time has passed so fast. I could feel the wind on my face as I raced across the grass on my horse. All of this is just Grandpa thinking to himself. But right here, I could feel that wind on my face as well, just based on this person's description. I sighed as I got comfortable onto a seat, and as a wave of sleep hit me, I fell asleep quickly from my frail body needing rest. Look, she even used one of her concept vocabulary words in this description. So both of these examples use really descriptive language to get us to understand what Grandpa's thinking and feeling leading up to his journey and starting his journey. So please feel free to rewind and pause and reread these and use them as an example for you finishing, your story today. So remember, just to refresh your memory, you already have your plan. You need to look at your plan, and as you're typing, change, fix, rearrange things. We are going to be writing from Grandpa's point of view again, so please make sure that you're using his thoughts, his feelings, and his insights, and his point of view. As we saw in our example, please make sure that you're trying to incorporate those concept vocabulary words, and if you need help, remember these are the paragraph numbers for those different event sequences if you need to go back and you need to look in the text and figure out, what different sub-events to include. So when you get finished with your actual draft and you submit it, okay, remember to submit, you click My Document, and then you'll click Submit Assignment. But once you're finished, what you'll do is you'll come down to the Writing Reflection Flipgrid. Your prompt is right here. I'm not going to read it to you. You have a rubric, and then step-by-step instructions on how to access your actual response. If it doesn't work, down at the very bottom, it gives you a link, and then the code is right here again for you. So please make sure that you do those two things. They are going into the gradebook, and I can't wait to see what you write. Have a great day.